Welcome to today's Money TV show, the ultimate guide in fast-paced world of finance, investment, travel, technology, and business growth. Each episode, we delve into the latest trends, speak with industry leaders, and share practical insight to empower you in mastering today's economic challenges. Join us on this journey to unlock strategies to make your money work harder and smarter for you. Let's embark on this adventure together. All right, we've got one of our experts in startups and fundraising, and his name is Robert Manasir. Robert, did I get your name right?
You were close, Hugh. It's Robert Manasir.
Manasir. I'm getting there, Robert. I'm getting there.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Robert, I know you've raised hundreds of millions of dollars for different businesses. You are a business flipper. You are a industry leader in incubating. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Bob Manasir, or Robert Manasir. I've founded, grown, scaled, and exited 170 companies around the globe with my team and I. We don't consult. We actually deploy teams into situations to build out the infrastructure or to improve the infrastructure and the processes to get to an exit or to get to fundraising.
Okay. All right. So you're not just consulting, you're actually taking ownership in the business itself.
Or some kind of managerial leadership position with
Okay.
a company to kind of manifest the change and transformations.
All right, beautiful. So Robert, if someone that is a novice or even intermediate or expert is wanting to get into industry today, obviously AI mania is going crazy, but that's not the only industry out there. There's other people still got to eat. People still are active and doing other things. What else is there? What's a good trend for someone to get in, not just AI?
Yeah, so we research markets all the time. We've been really focused on media, small business finance and funding, clean tech, and we have a big focus on U.S. manufacturing.
Okay, what's clean tech, Robert?
Clean tech are the technologies to take us to a sustainable future. So clean energy, any technologies, EVs, a clean tech, supposedly. We're more focused on the hydrogen side of new technology because I think it plays well to the U.S. consumer and the way we drive and our habits versus the European where EV works better. So, we're pretty deep into technologies that are going to change the planet or hopefully for the foreseeable future, make us sustainable and green.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that most people don't realize is what is the carbon footprint left after the EV actually goes with the batteries. And the U.S. Power grid system is really not capable, or not, I wouldn't say capable, but it's not ready for a full EV deployment. That's why they're trying to scatter it out, sparse it, and be able to slowly ease it into the U.S. But the power grid's still not ready.
No, and the U.S. is just obviously much larger than any single country in Europe. And we have a lot of variables that affect EV. One is our habit of driving, or our commute is much longer than in other nations. And we have a lot of temperature variation. So that affects the EV efficiency.
Yeah, I think the other part of it is the psychology of what U.S. attitude towards EV compared to Europeans is a little bit different, and it's changing. But I think Europeans may be a little bit ahead on that compared to where the U.S. is right now.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of developments and progress that we have to make in that, right?
Right. That's exactly
We're at the
right.
early stages of a new technology.
That's exactly right. Now, these are some big industries that you've mentioned. Someone that is wanting to get into these industries, one of the biggest part is, I need money. Where do I get money? How do I get money? What do I have to do to get money? Fundraising. I mean, you've raised it. You know who it is. I'm sure people have come to you to borrow money. As you mentioned, one of your industries is doing lending. How does somebody get it?
Yeah, so our first advice to anybody is don't raise money, get clients first. And obviously in some technologies, especially high technologies and a lot of the clean tech, you need to build something to prove the concept. So you need money. And there's a lot of grants and there's academic money out there, and there's workforce development and economic development places you can get money for the development of a technology. But if you're creating a small business or an entrepreneurial endeavor and you don't need the equipment, go out and try to get a paying client first, because that changes your perspective on what the business has to be. And that goes a long way to raising money later. So my first advice is always, if you can, go get a paying client before you ever think about raising money, because that's going to change what your company is. And if you can't do that, go interview who you think your customers are, because then you're going to learn a lot in that before you ever put a pitch deck together and go out in front of investors.
Okay. And I think that's one thing we've talked before, is someone that is not just a consultant that has actually lived and gone through the process or entrepreneurship and been able to not think of it as a concept, but actually has gone through the steps of it, correct?
Yeah. And also, if you're asking people for money, you better be the expert in the room on that business. And if you've never done it, how can you be the expert?
That's right.
That's what investors, and that's what we ask, like, walk me through the customer journey. What is the cycle to get to a sale? If you don't know those if you don't have metrics to back that up,
right,
who's going to give you money?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. Yeah. Unless you go to mom and dad or grandma, grandpa, right?
Yeah, they didn't
which
give
is
me
possible.
money.
I'm sure there's some people that do it, but
They never gave me any money, Hugh.
Me neither, unfortunately. So, Robert, tell me in 5 steps or less, someone that is wanting to get into the industry and be able to take from concept to fruition, a step-by-step, step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on, to be able to gain success.
So I say 1 is research, right? You need to be macro and micro research on the industry you're looking at. You have to understand trends. You have to understand technology. You have to get a sense of a jargon to the industry, and then use that to join associations or memberships in that industry. And that's part of like 2 and 3, which is networking. You got to build your network in the industry. Your network makes your future. So
you're saying 2 and 3 is building, not only educating yourself, but is also being able to network and be able to, I guess you would say, rub elbows with the right people.
Yeah, and then go to where all those people are, right? If whatever industry it is, the people that run those businesses and are in that industry all have the same habits. Go to those locations, go to those expos. Like you have to immerse yourself in the industry. And then depending on where you are in your life, apply to a low-level job, a lower level or entry-level job to get understanding of the industry, or get an internship. Because if you haven't done it, you might not even like it. Yeah. And that's the other thing about it. I love internships for any age, because it tells you not only what you want, but also what you never want to do again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think there's a lot of kids that come out of college and they're like, there's no way in hell I want to do this.
And then they're stuck, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Robert, tell me in 30 seconds or less what you think your company can do for our entrepreneurs, how they contact you, and how they can align themselves with you.
And all of our relationships start with a deep conversation, right? And that's it, because we have to make sure we're good for you and you're good for our system, because we have a very set system of how we build things. You can find me on LinkedIn. There's only 2 of us with the same name. I'm the older one with the picture. That's the easiest way. You can see all our companies there. Or you can go to First Strike Incubator, which is our new U.S. manufacturing and hard goods system for inventors.
All right, wonderful. Robert, thank you so much for your time and being a guest on the show. I look forward to having you back sometime soon and tell us what the new trends are and what else we can do to be able to help grow our business.
My pleasure, Hugh. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Our next guest is a patent guru. He is the man that has had multiple patents and success story. He's coming on our show, Mr. Brian Freed. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
How you doing, Hugh? Thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure. Brian, I'd like to find out a little bit more about you and your company.
Okay. Well, to start with, I'm an inventor. I have 15 issued patents to this date. I have a few more pending. Continue to keep coming up with ideas. And I've licensed products to receive royalties from them. I manufacture products locally in the US and overseas. And I've been doing the same thing almost as what I've been called an inventor coach for the last 18 plus years now. And during my time of kind of showing people, if I can do it, you could do it too. I'm nothing special. Obviously, you want to work on ideas that hopefully will bring you some return.
Right.
I've had a chance to author 3 books. My latest one is How to Make Money with Your Invention Idea. I also have a inventor club, which converted into the National Inventor Club, and just continue to have all different types of people that I interact with, and I just wanted more. So recently I invented the Inventor Smart Community app that's available now on Google Play and Apple App Store, and just going through and helping people, watching people help each other. It's really something great. And just going through all these things, like, it's amazing to invent something, and whether it's me or you, to be able to take what's in your brain and bring it to life. And I've had the opportunity to see my products in major retail stores. I was an on-air guest on QVC for almost 3 years, and
Nice.
just keep on going.
New ways of inventing new ways to invent, right? Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've thought of things. I'm like, oh, I thought of that years ago. I should have done something about it. Now there's an opportunity to do that, right?
Absolutely. Well, look, there's a lot of people that come up with ideas and they don't really stop to capture it. And they go, somebody else will come up with it. And then 20 years later, it's I woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? Kind of like what you're saying.
That's exactly right.
But what's interesting, Hugh, is that it doesn't matter who you are. You could be a doctor, lawyer, unemployed, senior citizen, student. At some point or another, somebody comes up with an idea. If you want to call yourself an inventor, that's fine, or maybe not. But coming up with it, capturing it, and that's the part where I love to be able to help people, is to figure out what to do next. Is it something that you should work on or not? Is it an idea that you could call your own? Is it something that you should put your time, money, energy, effort into before you keep moving forward? So those are the things that I think about when I come up with an idea, or somebody brings an idea to me.
Okay, well, let's get into it. So, what is the patent process? Is it something that is difficult, expensive? How does it work?
Well, you can start off, and a lot of times people do, when they come up with an idea, they can go towards the patent process, which will give you the rights for a certain amount of time to kind of say that it's your own idea, your own invention. And if you want
that patent pending, or is
that
that
could
the
be patent
process?
pending. Yep.
Okay.
You could start off whether you filed. There's a few different ways to file. But what I was going to say, Hugh, is before you really hit the time of going for that patent, because that's where it starts to put some money into. There's a lot of ways to be able to start by just going online and doing a descriptive search for your idea.
Okay.
Doing a search to see if your idea already exists. Is there enough of a difference from one thing that you see out there that maybe, oh, yes, it looks similar, or maybe it's kind of doing the same thing, but mine is different because of this, that, and that, and this. Is there enough of a difference to be able to call it your own? Is it something that you're going to hit a brick wall with, and realistically, it's somebody else's intellectual property or patent, or is it in the public domain? So a patent, a utility patent, otherwise known as a non-provisional patent application or utility
and
patent.
there's two. There's a design patent and a utility patent, correct?
That's right. So there's the utility patent, and then there's the design patent. Before that, though, let's say you came up with something that kind of functions. It has like some twists or turns or some purpose that you want to explain. When you use it like this is what it does and how it works.
Right.
That's a utility, how it works and functions. On the other side, maybe it's something just ornamental, and that's a design patent.
Okay.
And that lasts for 15 years. The utility patent lasts for 20 years. The utility patent has what's called claims in it.
Okay.
And I'm giving you this information from my own opinion. I'm not a patent attorney or agent, but I've been through the process.
Full disclosure, right?
So
I'm going to call you Brian. Do you remember we talked about this?
So a lot of times also, these things can typically cost, depending on how complicated, how many claims you have, how many twists and turns and gears and function that's going on starts to add up to what a patent filing may cost. So what people do sometimes is, okay, so I went online, I did a search. Maybe I'll go on another search engine and I'll do a search. And what I like to do is I click on images. So I don't have to go through every web page of every link that comes up. Maybe I'll just look and see if there's things that are similar to mine. Right. And then I'm going to log them and keep a track of them to see if it's something that should I work on or not. And then, a lot of times, Hugh, there are people that come to me and they say, Brian, I came up with the most amazing thing. I went to Walmart and I didn't see it on the shelf. I'm going to be a gazillionaire.
Of course. Right.
So look, it's one thing, search with your eyes open. You don't want to search with your eyes closed because you don't want to find it. But what's going to happen when you're at step 4, 5, or 6, and then you should have done that search because you want to know if it's going to be yours from the start.
Well,
right?
There's hundreds and thousands of patents that of people that have created that wasn't out there, but really didn't make any sense or didn't have success. But there's a patent on it, that comes out. So let me ask you this: there's a difference for having a patent or having a license. Somebody creates something. One of the biggest and best ways to create wealth is, they say, find something, sell something, right? Whether you created it, whether you licensed it, whether it existed, it came into existence. Which is better? Is it better to license something? Is it better to invent something? What are the pros and cons?
The way that it works, Hugh, so just to understand licensing, a real quick definition is, let's say I come up with, and I have some of my stuff here, but let's say I came up with this set of tongs that has an adjustable sizing on the top. So here's a set of food tongs, and then you pull that tab up and it locks the tongs in place. But what I did was I put grooves in it. So now your tongs are small, medium, and large opening. Right. So I came up with the idea.
Did you actually come up with that?
Yes, I did. Okay. And I came up with the idea to have adjustable tongs. So look, if you're going to go to the store and you're buying a set of tongs and this one has an extra feature for the same price, which one will you buy? Right? So what I did was I came up with this idea. I had a patent issued on it, I believe, at this point, or maybe it was pending. And I went to a company and I wanted to see if they would add it to their product line. So they now manufacture it, they distribute it. And every time one of these sells, I earn a royalty from it. So that's licensing. Okay. So what you were saying, most of the time, when you're going to a company that's kind of in the similar space of what you're trying to license, they're going to want to have some sort of intellectual property. They're going to want you to have patent pending. Most of the time, that's what they're going to want because that's what you're renting the rights to. If you don't have that, then what do they need you for? They can kind of do it themselves. Right. So I go through the steps of doing my due diligence. Is my idea out there? I have a professional patent search done with a patentability opinion by a patent attorney or agent. I end up taking what's in my brain. I want to be able to bring it to life somehow. I want to be able to see it, have it work a little bit. So I might make a prototype. I might rip things to shreds. I might have a CAD design done, which is a computer drawing that I can give to a prototyper to actually print for me. Okay. Or maybe out of wood or bend metal or cut and sew to a seamstress. And then I'll make it or somebody, I'll work with them to be able to, so I can see it and feel it and test it and kind of show it around.
It becomes real.
Right. But before I do show it around, I'm not protected at that point. So I file what's called a provisional patent application. Okay.
And is that after or before the patent pending?
I do it. Well, that a provisional patent application gives you the right for 1 year to say that you're patent pending while you're exploring the market. Maybe you're going to find a manufacturer. Maybe you're pitching a licensee, a potential licensee. So that's going to give me the right for 1 year to say I'm patent pending. And before that year expires, that's when I have to file a non-provisional patent application, otherwise known as the utility patent.
Got it.
If it's ornamental, if it's only a design, like for example, Hugh, I came up with this snack container right? I thought it would kind of like, I didn't like when people put their hands in food to
Right.
kind of scoop it up. Like if I was at a party, this
Right.
was years ago, way before COVID, but
Right.
people are freaked out now even
Right.
more. But I don't know. I was nuts back then for some reason. Anyway, so I wanted some scooping mechanism so I can eat from it.
Right.
And what I did was I went to a company and I licensed the design, and they licensed the rights. So they have brand property rights to Elmo, Cookie Monster, and the Ninja Turtles at the time.
Mhm.
So every time one of these sells, I would earn a royalty from it, and they would also have to pay Sesame Street or Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually got one of those for my daughter, so thanks. I appreciate
I
it,
love.
Brian.
Well, thanks
That
for
was a
that
good one.
royalty.
That was a good one, my
Appreciate
friend.
that.
That
Yeah,
was a good
so
one.
that's what I'm saying. Like there's design patents, which are ornamental, and then there's utility patents, which are functionality, twisting, turning. Like here's one where I came home one night, Hugh, and there was no room left in my fridge, and I had leftovers, and I opened up the carton of eggs, and it was ridiculous. There was only one egg left in it. I'm like, all this space for one egg? So what I did was I came up with a collapsible egg tray. You put your eggs in, and as you take them out, it collapses. So you only need this space, or you open it up for the amount of space you need for the amount of eggs you have left.
Nice.
So I call it extra space.
Brian, we're running out of time here. So in about 30 seconds or less, is it a good idea to pursue doing patents to make some money? And give me your closing thoughts. And how can somebody align themselves with you and be able to contact you to invent and create something?
If you have a chance to get a patent, I encourage it. I think it gives you a good level of protection to be able to say that it's your own. You have better options out there. If you're going to manufacture, you have the right for 20 years or 15 years to be able to call it your own. If you're going to license, you have the rights to be able to rent it to a company and give them a competitive advantage in the market. My website is brianfried.com, BRIANFRIED.com. I spell it, Hugh, because a lot of people spell my first name Brain, and they say my last name is Fried, and I'm Brain Fried. So you don't want to spell it Brain Fried. It's brianfried.com.
Right.
And then I'm really proud of, I have this Inventor Smart Community app that's available on Google Play and Apple App Store. And that's the community that has National Inventor Club and collaboration and inventors all networking and talking to each other. So thank you very much, Hugh.
Okay, great. Brian, thank you so much for your time. And I hope to have you back again and give us some more guidance and some of your new and more interesting inventions that are coming up soon.
Thank you very much, Hugh.
Thank you for your Thank you for tuning into today's Money TV show. We hope you found our exploration of finance, investment, and business growth insightful and inspiring. Stay connected with us for more expert interviews, trending topics, and actionable tips. Remember, the key to financial success lies in staying informed and proactive. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and follow us on social media to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, keep making your money work for you and take charge of your financial future.